Hey yo. Okay, so we're coming up to our next to last video, but actually last video that I'm making um, of our summer school time together. I want to tell you that it has been fabulous learning about these concepts that we've learned about science and so forth, and being able to teach you something. Um, our last topic that we're going to talk about is we've been talking about air pollution all week, and I promised you what I would talk about is greenhouse gases, in particular CO2 or carbon dioxide and methane, um, because those are the two that we put into our atmosphere the most. Um, so which one is worse? Which one do we put more of into the atmosphere? I mean, we put a lot of both into the atmosphere. Um, and this video is really, really good, the one that I'm going to show you about all of this. Um, but it's the second of two parts. So it's going to actually deal with more talking about methane. Now I'm going to tell you this video was not made in the United States. It was made, I think, in England or somewhere around there. And they call methane methane. So they're comparing carbon dioxide to methane. And they talk about more about what the composition of carbon dioxide is in the first video that I'm not showing you, but what you need to know about what carbon dioxide does is said in this video. Um, so I want to make sure that you understand that when we're comparing carbon dioxide to methane gas, we're not comparing two things that do the exact same thing, because as it tells you, methane um, decomposes in our atmosphere at a rate 10 times greater than carbon dioxide. And what that means is when we put methane into the air or methane into the air, it'll be in our atmosphere for about 10 years before it decomposes. However, carbon dioxide can stay in our atmosphere for upwards of 100 years, for more than 100 years. So cars that were being driven around 100 years ago, the Model T Fords and so forth, put stuff up in the air that's still there. This is dangerous. This is why we're having such a difficult time um, making clear the dangers of putting carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, because what we put into the air today will be in the air for 100 or more years, for a very long time, and it will continue to affect our atmosphere and affect how our atmosphere interacts with our environment for a very long time. So if we as an entire planet stopped putting carbon dioxide into the air, it would help, but the amount of carbon dioxide in our air would not start to fall significantly and enough to actually reverse the effects of what it's done for about 20 to 30 years. And it wouldn't be the stuff that we've been putting up there today. It would be the stuff that we put in 100 years ago. So we've got a lot of work to make this work. It's important to know what we're doing today has severe and very long-lasting effects. And one thing I'd like to point out is all this distance learning is because of a situation that was a global pandemic, and we weren't the only ones doing it in the United States. They were doing it all over the world. And in certain places, the United States included, where we could measurably see from our space station the amount of pollution in our air from the space station and from other satellites. Those satellites were able to see such huge improvement and the difference between our air when we were all on quarantine and all staying at home and all not driving around versus um, versus when everybody is out in the world driving around. And it's significant. And the thing is it's attainable. Almost everybody has the ability to do something other than get in their car and drive around. Um, we can ride a bike, we can walk, we can ride the bus, we can do all kinds of other things that would make the world better for all of us. So just think about that. Okay, I'm going to play this video real quick. It's a little bit longer than most of the videos that I've been playing. Remember that they are going to be talking about, there's like a little bit of a review thing that might not make a little bit of sense, but it's referring to the first video talking about carbon dioxide. But, you know, since you know, maybe you'll be able to put it together.